AKAPADers. Today we're talking Munchies, a movie inspired by Gremlins, but this one is of its own. What is up, my AKAPADers? Day 8, 31 Days of Dread. That's one horror movie a day for the entire month of October. Welcome back. We are rocking and rolling. We're doing a inspired by Gremlins block. Previously, we did Critters, and there's so much I left out of that little conversation we had yesterday. Munchies, I love how these two movies work off of Gremlins so well. They both have separate origins of the creatures. Munchies is more similar to Gremlins. Munchies is more in tone to Gremlins. Critters just set out to make a amazing sci-fi movie that eventually had balls of fur with ravenous teeth, and bent on world domination and true horror. Munchies is something a lot different. Munchies is adolescent. It's little creatures running around New Mexico or Arizona. It's a sunny yellow land, but they're running around just wreaking havoc. It's very similar to Gremlins. And we might go to Gremlins and say there's a horror aspect, there's a science fiction supernatural aspect, and then there's a comedy aspect. Gremlins, in a lot of ways, can be looked at even as a dark comedy. I know people love just to throw it into like a Christmas movie category. Critters takes the idea of Gremlins and says, what if we just explained it all and had real consequences, but we'll wrap it around the best action we can do, the best science fiction we can do, and characters that somewhat relatable, and that gets tougher down the road. We somewhat dismiss when movies are so polished that the characters seem a little bit more real when we first see them on screen. The smaller the budget is always less time, less preparation a lot of these companies have to not only complete the movie but to roll it out. So Munchies doesn't go the sci-fi route. Munchies says, what if we took the comedy from Gremlins and cranked it up? So Critters goes in one direction. Critters goes more in a explanation, origin, exposition, science fiction way. And Munchies is like, hey, let's just go Beavis and Butthead, go crazy, make these things, girl crazy. Let's make them have shotguns. Let's make them just drive cars and really take things to another notch, maybe on the level that you might want to see if you're coming from the Gremlins camp. Watching Gremlins, watching Critters, watching Munchies is a perfect trilogy. It really is. It's a perfect trifecta of movies. And the origin of the creatures in Munchies is I think it's an Aztec temple. I should have taken some notes, but and I'm going right off the top of my gray matter here. Aztec temple, they find a creature, bring home the creature, they literally chop up the creature, and then when the creature multiplies, and look, the original creature is, I think it's like Arnold. AKAPADers, I am really bad with details right now, but I believe the creature's name is Arnold. But Arnold is a lot like Gizmo, and there's a vision that lacks in Critters and Munchies. When you're Steven Spielberg and you have Amblin Entertainment and you're just surrounded by some of the best and the people who are choosing and you're choosing to work with one another, you come up with names like Gizmo, and Gizmo is instantly embedded into the mind, becomes a part of your consciousness, and immediately ends up on merchandise and does pretty well via merchandise. Munchies has Arnold, and you guys can kind of see where I'm going with this. But they, like in Gremlins, they chop up Arnold. Arnold multiplies, and his multiplications are evil. So he starts as benign, fun, lovable. His offspring are absolute terrors. very well designed. They look great on camera. There's a poster. If you did a quick Google search, Munchies movie poster, what you see on that poster it's not how they look on camera, on film, on set. Because, a lot of times you come up with the poster first and then you kind of reverse engineer it from there. This is a lot of the Roger Corman way. Roger Corman, who we really should do a spotlight episode on. But Roger Corman is the most significant filmmaker of our time. He has jump-started so many careers. Martin Scorsese, James Gunn, the list goes on and on. This movie is, I believe, directed by one of his editors, so the guy has somewhat of a Roger Corman editing library for his filmography. But this movie's a ton of fun. It's got that teenage angst. It's got the over the top goofy comedy, over the top goofy characters, all with intent. And now that we can sit down and know the intent of the movie, which is to be wild and goofy, we can enjoy it. And look, we're film buffs here. We're supposed to sit down and enjoy any and all movies. We don't dismiss anything. We give everything a shot. Munchies, I loved it as a kid. I loved Critters as a kid. I love them even more now because I just appreciate the chaos in both of these movies. It's just fun watching other people go through some of this stuff other than myself. A little bit of a shorter episode, but Munchies, it's on Tubi, full recommendation. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe, support, leave a comment, go to AKAPAD.com. You can catch up with all the 31 Days of Dread. And yeah, show this podcast. Send this podcast to a friend of yours. It will help. Thank you, guys.